Alright, so in this video, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to set up a mail merge using Google products, Google Apps for Education, which is now part of the G Suite of apps for education. And my purpose for showing you how to do this is to allow you to create digital certificates for training sessions. So if you're giving a training and your teachers need CLUs or things like that, you can just provide a link to them, have them fill out a Google form like what you see right now, and then once they've done that, they'll receive an email shortly after that will provide them with a digital certificate that they can then print out and use for CLUs. So the first thing that you want to do when you're creating these digital certificates and using the mail merge tool that I'm going to show you later, which is called Autocrat, Autocrat, is you want to create your certificate first. And I find that it's easier to do this first because when you create the certificate, you are designating what fields you want to pull from when you create your form. So for instance, I know that I want to get a name from my participants. I want to get today's date so that they have a record of when they were there, and then also the school name so they also again have a record of where the training was held, and so I have a record also of where the training was held. You can include additional information in there. If my participants for this particular training want to go back and they want to see the forms that I handed out during the training, so basics and beyond. This is a Google Doc, so it's a living doc, so as things change, I can change them and they'll have updated information. So they get the handout for that. They get the training cheat sheet, the toolbar cheat sheet. Again, it's a digital copy, so it's not a piece of paper that they have to hold on to for a couple weeks and then throw away. So you can kind of, using Google Docs and Google Apps, you can set up the certificate to look how you want it to. But the first thing we do is we set the certificate up as a template, and then you want to designate what fields to pull from. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create our form. So you want to give it a simple name. First question is going to be email. And the reason you want the first question to be email, or one of the questions to be email, is because you want to be able to send the certificate to them. And you can't do that without collecting their email first. So I'm going to make that to be required. I'm going to add another question for name. Again, this will be a short answer. Make that required as well. We're going to make all of these questions required. Date, and then training location. Okay, short answer. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to move this question up. So we'll have the date be the first question. So date, email, name, training location. Let me make sure if there's anything I missed. So there's name, today's date, school name. So let me actually change this to school name. Alright, you know what? We'll change this. So we'll change this to training location. And what's important to keep in mind is all of the I call them target words because I don't have a better way to describe it. All of the target words are case sensitive to what's presented in the form. So you'll want to make sure that they match up word for word, case for case. So uppercase, lowercase, it all needs to be the same. All right, so this needs to be today's date. And this will actually, we'll change that to the date. So the user can then just input the date that way. All right. Now, the next thing that we'll want to do after we have the template set up and we have the form set up is we want to view where the responses will be going. So we're going to create a new spreadsheet for Smart Training Responses. Create. All right, and you can see that it's already pulled the information from the form, just like that. But we need to go to add-ons and click Get Add-ons. I already have it installed in my sheets, but you'll want to do that as well. And so what we're looking for is Autocrat, and you can see it right here, but just in case you need to search for it, it's not popping up right away. Type Autocrat. Here's Autocrat. And you want to, it's free, so you'll want to click Install. And it's going to ask for permissions. You want to accept. It's not doing anything invasive. We'll click Launch. All right, no merge job set up, so we're going to create a new job. Smart training, and I'm going to call it 2016-2017, so it's easily searchable by me. Click next. All right, so choose template, and remember the template that we created. So you can create it within the document. Let's do that. Let's see what that looks like. So if we click create example, okay. So here's the demo template, and I created it in Google Docs. Okay. So that's not exactly what we want. It's a little different. So just to see what the template would look like if they generated it for us. So merge tags. So that's what we'll call it, merge tags. You notice that all of the merge tags have these carets around them. That's so it knows what information to pull. So we're actually going to choose a different one. So we'll choose from drive. It's actually very easy to change. We want this one, our training certificate. Okay, click next. All right, maps the column. Didn't work out, did it? Form response is 1. All right, so name, it knows to pull from name. Today's date is going to be today's date. Training location. So you see that it's pretty smart, it's pretty intuitive. It knows to match up those merge tags with the forms that are found, or the fields, excuse me, that are found within the Google form. Demo merge job run on now. Okay, well, we don't want to do that. So what I like to do, so this will be the file that is the output from Autocrat. I like to name it with the convention of, who is receiving the certificate and from what event. So I'm going to put name certificate from Smart Training, because that's the event, at training location. And again, if you use the merge tags, you want to make sure that it is letter by letter exactly as it's seen in the form. Otherwise, it's not going to know what to do. I also like to make mine PDF, and the reason I do PDF is because it's uneditable by the recipient, so they can't change any of the information easily, I should say. They can't easily change the information. We're going to choose a folder, different folder. So I have one specifically set up for my trainings. So we'll go there. 2016-2017 training, smart training, my certificate home. So that's where we'll send them. We're going to trash that one. We don't want to use that one. Don't want to be confused. Right, next, don't need a dynamic folder. Set merge condition optional. So we'll just leave it alone. All right, so yes, we do want to share the doc. It's going to be shared as a PDF. Now, the two-part. It's going to send it to the email. So you want to make sure that you use, that's why you included email in the Google form, so that you can then pull the email from that person as they submit the form. So this is the subject of the email. So I'm going to say, hey there, here's your training certificate from our Smart in-service. Please find your document attached. Click next. All right, run on form trigger. Now what that means, okay, we have to set up trigger conditions. But if you set it to run on form trigger, what that means is once the recipient clicks submit on the Google form, usually within about 15 seconds, it's pretty quick, that person is going to receive their email. I'm going to show you how quick it is. All right, so the job is there. I can change the name of it real quick. Yeah. 17. So that was my mistake for pulling in that example. We'll just click save. All right. And so just really quickly, we'll fill one out. Okay, so today's date is 10/12/2016. Email, name, training location. And I'm just going to put in your middle school. Okay, so your middle school is the place that we had the training location at. Just click done there. So here's your certificate. I'm going to open up the certificate homes too so you can see, but we're going to watch it actually do the merge process. Right. So click submit. It's done. Right, you see that the form already pulled in the information, but in just a second it's going to run the mail merge. There it goes. So it pulled in these forms: merge doc ID, merge doc URL, link to merge doc, document merge status. So it tells you if it's successfully completed the mail merge. And just like that, it's done. Document successfully merged, and email was sent to jsteele@caddoschools.org. So that's how quick, simple, and easy the process is. Here's what the document looks like, and you can see that it's pulled those tags in just like I wanted it to. Hey, Justin Steele, thanks for attending. Here's the date, your middle school, it's all right there. And then I also have a record of it too. So if I go to my training and I go to Smart, certificate home, all right, and here it is. So if that teacher, if that participant ever emails me and says, hey, you know what, I lost my document from the training, is it possible for you to send it to me? I have access to it in my Google Drive. I can find it and say, yep, sure, no problem. Send them an email real quick, and then they have it. So that's how you set it up. Now I do want to mention one small thing really quickly. If you make any changes to your Google form or to the headers that are found in the Google Sheet that pulls the information from the Google form, if you make any changes at all, you will have to go through and edit the job that you created for the mail merge. Because usually what happens is it loses those merge tags, and then it's unable to re-register what it's looking for. So you just want, if you make any changes, like for instance, if you want to add another field to it, like is this your first training with me, blah blah blah, yes, no, whatever, for whatever reason, any changes at all, whether they're included in the mail merge process or not, you still want to go back through and just check and make sure that everything's gone through. Now if you don't want to do run on trigger, where as soon as the person submits the mail merge, they receive the email about 15 seconds later, you can do a manual mail merge. So let's say you do a day's worth of training and you get back to your office, or you get back wherever the training's done, you can go in and just run the job manually, and so it'll do it once you give it that command. You just hit that play button right there and it'll go. So that's about it. It's pretty simple. It's pretty a pretty convenient way to get those certificates to your teachers and to your training participants. All right, thanks.